Ganache network, you're like a super billionaire. So you can say how much you want, you know. The second thing we're gonna do is we're gonna write a contract like from scratch in Truffle. Sorry, let me not confuse people. Okay, it's a Solidity contract we're gonna write. We're gonna write it using a kind of command line IDE called Truffle, right? And we're going to compile and deploy that contract to our Ganache network. So we set up the test network. We're going to write a contract. We're going to build it. We're going to deploy it to our network. So step 3 is really we're going to take and we're going to put a front end to that application. So if you think of traditional, server client architecture, it's very similar, but in the sense of your server that you're deploying is on chain and you're interacting on chain. It's not a kind of like a remote communication. You're just talking directly into your contract as your backend. Okay, so that's the only slide that matters right here. Go there and we can get started on that. Hang on. There we go. Found it. Okay, cool. So the first 4 steps we're going to do here is, like I was saying, we're if you have you should have an NPM environment. If you don't, that's kind of like one of the prerequisites. It would take us a while to install NPM for everyone. But you do. This is you don't have to do sudo. It depends on your environment. But we're going to install a global version of Truffle. And we're also going to install a global version of the CLI. And that means basically when I go to command line, I don't have to put in a path to reference Ganache CLI or Truffle. I can just use the shortened phrase Truffle or Ganache CLI to start those. Okay. So next thing we're going to do is so I can't do those because I'll break everything. Actually, I probably need to do Truffle because this isn't my computer. 1 second.
Just guys, no food and no beverages in here, please. If you have some, just go outside and finish it. And I'm gonna see you on every camera if you do it. Thank you.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, so now we're installing, cool. Hey, I guess that's what this is for. Okay, cool. So we're installing Truffle and it, installed successfully. Okay. So kind of moving on to the next steps now that we have like our, stuff there, right? So I'm going to change my directory to the desktop. And I'm going to make a new directory. And we're going to call that directory Sandbox. So when you're setting up a Truffle instance, Sandbox, there we go, cool. Oh, shoot, I'm sorry. Yeah. Let's move that over here. Sorry. Here we go. Does that work better? Can everybody see that? Do we need? Oh no, that's way down there, isn't it? Okay. To bring it up and then try and increase the font size. This is my life. Okay. Okay. Really? This is just the worst. Yeah, but it'd be cool if it was not like totally at the bottom like that. There we go. Oh my. What's that? There we go. No, I can't resize it. I don't know. This is like my first day of using of something. Sorry. Hopefully you can see that better. My apologies for everybody. Okay, so we're gonna make a new directory, right? So we're gonna call that directory Sandbox, and then the next thing we need to do is to get into our new directory. So we're gonna change directory to Sandbox, and we're gonna call Truffle init, and that's gonna set up the environment in the Sandbox. Oh, cool. Node version not supported. Cool. All right, yeah, like I said, give me just a moment. I did get my laptop stolen, so I'm not exactly sure. Node version not supported. We're currently using version 7.7.4. Truffle requires 8.9.4. NPM install what? Oh, okay. All right, cool. Oh, all right. Do what? No, okay. Can we get the guy whose computer this is come help me for a moment? Forgot his name. What's that? Right. Yeah. It isn't update, right? Sorry. Yeah. Oh, what's that? Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Cool. Hopefully we don't break somebody else's environment, but hopefully everybody else is, following along doing this guide. He said there was like something to select your environment, so we're gonna try that command again. Now that we have a newer version. Oh, okay. To unmute. Excellent. Okay. I'm really sorry, y'all. I had this all set up to go, but yeah, unforeseen circumstances.
So npm install n. Okay.
node later? Oh, you're getting password?
No. It's not.
All right, let me just
Yeah. Okay. Do you have? Yeah. It's Oh, you have a new MacBook. Cool. 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 I used to have one of those. Recently. Okay. Here we go. We got a dongle.
I assume
Okay. That's cool. Very good. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. We got to do our displays. Oh.
There we go. It's alive.
All right. Let's make it a mirror. Like, yeah. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. We're back in business. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
You might have to install everything.
Oh, this okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, we'll start there. Yeah. Okay. And we'll go to tinyurl.com/ETHParis. Okay. So this, what's that? Oh, right on. Cool. What a fun club we started. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So well, let's see if we have our NPM installed. Our Truffle install. I can't do like any of the the magic of television sort of stuff where I like already have stuff installed and I can just go for it. So I'm gonna do this with everybody else too. So yeah, we're gonna install Truffle, then we're gonna install Ganache, and then yeah, this one actually takes a little bit, and then we'll start up our. Oh no, that was fast. Okay, cool. Yeah, dude, it's legit. That's brilliant.
I'm returning.
Okay, cool. Yep, and so now we're going to have Ganache, and that also went in really fast. Okay. Now we're going to make our sandbox, which is, I'm going to put that on the desktop by making a directory. I just make sure everybody can see it, right? Okay, cool. Sandbox. Okay. And then we're going to go into Sandbox, and we're going to call Truffle init. Okay, cool. So yay, we did stuff. Okay, so yeah, so like if you look at your tree, right? If you do an ls, right, you'll see there's truffleconfig.js, there's test folder, there's migrations, and there's contracts, and we're going to use each of those. Okay, so the next step would be to set up our TruffleJS, which actually TruffleJS is basically it's telling you where your environment is supposed to point to, and so like if you go, it's actually they changed the name. Sorry, we're gonna modify truffleconfig.js. Yeah, is it okay, sure. VS Code. Whoa. No. Okay. Yeah. Cool. What am I? No, this is my first day. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, now we're gonna make edits to our truffle config.js, and that just tells us what environment we're going to be talking to. So we're going to start up Ganache CLI, and we're going to talk to that, and we want to say that we're talking to Ganache CLI and not Ethereum mainnet or Ropsten or whatever. We want it to understand where these contracts need to be deployed. Cool. That's perfect. All right, and so we're just gonna clobber whatever's in here with the stuff from the guide. 8545. That's Okay, cool. So yeah, we're just gonna clobber that. Wow, this one. What? Say what? Oh, what's that one? Oh, weird. Cool. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I know stuff. Okay, so then now we're going to make the contract, and so that's also provided in here as a gist, right? So just copy and paste that. So you're going to want to go over into contracts, and you're going to want to make a new file called simple storage .sol. And that's a Solidity contract. So smart contracts are, it's not really a great name because they're kind of just like applications that get run by the network and don't really have much to do with being a contract. Okay, and the next thing, we're gonna call Truffle compile just to make sure everything's like still like working. Okay, so now that we put that stuff in there, actually, I'm wondering, actually, do you have, okay, cool, that works. Oh, wait, oh yeah, cool. All right, seems good. So we compiled, right, the contract compiled down to bytecode. And so, like, next we're gonna stand up our Ganache CLI, and we're gonna deploy the contract into the Ganache CLI, or into our, our Ganache network. So, oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so now to deploy it, we need to update something called our migrations, right? And our migrations tell us like how to deploy something when we're going to deploy it. So yeah, so I'm gonna go into migrations. I'm gonna create a new file called it has to be a number 2, but I have a file name specified over here somewhere. 2_deploy_contracts. And that's just a simple JS file. Yep. And so now we have the deploy, and so it'll know exactly like how to deploy the contract and what network to deploy it to. I don't believe I said in here to start Ganache. Oh, I did up here. I said it way earlier. But okay, so now we're gonna start Ganache CLI. Oh, look at that. That's so cute and tiny. We'll call Ganache CLI, and this is actually like starting our network, right? So one of the cool things, one of the cool features, wow, is that it'll give you a bunch of private keys with like 100 ETH in them, and so in your private network you have 100 ETH in each account, and they provide you with the private keys, which is pretty rad. Why is it cutting off? That's weird. Go ahead and kill that. It's very strange behavior. Okay, cool. That's more like it. So if you can see that, we started our network. It's like our local host at 8545, right? And so like we specified earlier, we said we're talking to 8545. And so yeah, we're gonna get to communicate with that. So now that we have our Ganache network set up, we have our our compiled contract, we have all the kind of like the deployment stuff in this place. We're gonna try Truffle Deploy. What Truffle Deploy does is it then sends that to the Ganache network. Okay. Is this? Yeah, isn't it that way? Did I did that? Let's see. Oh, did I? Okay, let's try again. Oh, cool. Okay. Why won't it go away? Okay, cool. Let's try again. There we go. Hey, it went. Yay! Victory! Yes. And big hand of applause for the guy who told me that I didn't save my file. I appreciate that. Okay, so now it's like actually in the network, and if you're looking at your Ganache CLI console, it'll like have all these like transactions that come through. You don't really need to understand them all that much. It's just some transaction data. You get better over time. You'll start to understand like what they do and what they mean. And this will say like then also your Truffle Deploy will output kind of like where the contract is, the transaction hash for that, and how much it costs you to do that. And those costs are somewhat representative of what they would be in the real world. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is now we have the network, we have the contract's deployed. Now we want to talk to the contract, and so we're going to do like some really just like basic corny stuff. We're going to update a value, and then we're going to read a value from the contract. And so I've written a just like a fundamental like create React app that gives you the very like what do I say, like the bare minimum to talk to a contract. And so like if you're going to be hacking this weekend, it's great because it'll give you like some like a very like fundamental place to start. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. And so I'm going to clone down my simple client. And if you're kind of like a React or like Node developer, should be like pretty familiar for you. Actually. We're gonna do that not in Sandbox. How about that? And we're gonna clone that down. We're just pulling down the repo, and we're gonna go into simple client, and we're gonna do an npm install, and that'll install all of our dependencies. That's pretty normal stuff for Node developers. And then we're going to do an NPM start, so we can kind of see it not communicating to the contract, and then make some configuration changes, and then make it talk to the contract. Okay, cool. So now we're going to do an npm start to get our server started, and we can see like it'll start the React, the create React app starts up, and it won't really talk to the contract, and that's what we're expecting, right? Okay, so yeah, it's going to ask for like your MetaMask stuff. Okay, cool. Yeah. So we're going to. I really hope that I'm not going to like blow away anybody's like ETH fortune here when I'm making modifications if you're out there. Okay, so yeah, it's not really like talking. This doesn't really do anything. It's like broken, and so we're going to open that up in VS Code and make some other edits. Okay. Yes. Oh, dude, I need your MetaMask password. I'm not gonna delete keys or anything, am I? If I make modifications to MetaMask. Let me. So we're gonna start to talk to the contract, right? Oh, I need to add a private key to it, but that's okay. It won't affect your accounts. It'll just add. Okay, so we're gonna open a folder showing this simple client stuff. Okay. And someday. Okay, cool. I guess it did it already. Didn't see that. Cool. So app.js, right? If you see this thing, it says add address here, right? The address that we're talking about is the deployed contract address on our Ganache CLI instance. So if I have a contract and I deploy it, within Ganache, I get an address for that contract. If I oh, they wiped me out. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, it's over in this other one. 210, that's the area code for San Antonio. That's where I'm from. What luck. That's so cool. Yeah, it's been a very wild ride. Okay. So yeah, we'll just copy and paste that into here. It's like saying like, where am I going to be talking to? Like, what's the contract that I want to talk to? And this is all like normal stuff for like node developers. So I won't like focus on that too much. I just want to kind of get it started. Yeah. I lost my other terminal. Yeah. Command Tildy. Wow. What? Nah. I just made a backtick. Command. Okay, cool. Yeah, that one. Thank you. Really appreciate it. What? 2 side by side? Dude, you guys are wizards. Okay, this is awesome. What step was I on? Oh yeah, we just did the thingy. And so now we're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna start up now that we put in the contract details. We're gonna start up the client now. Okay. Oh no, I want to do NPM Start. So we start up simple client, and so yeah, there it is. It's not connected to a wallet. MetaMask is going to ask for that. We're not doing that just yet. But we should be able to check number, right? And it should return like nothing. Oh, okay. It blows up. Okay. Well, whatever. It's not supposed to do it yet. Okay. So next thing we do is I'm going to grab some of these private keys and I'm going to import them. And I'm also going to try to not, delete any of your precious ETH that you already may have. So, yeah. I mean, 50-50. Okay. So, yeah, will you come put in your MetaMask password for me? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna connect. Yeah, this is on main network. So we're gonna switch this to our local host, which is 8545. And then also we're gonna add a new account, one of these one of these super rich accounts. What? Yeah. Okay. We're super rich is our account name. And we're gonna import. Yeah, we're gonna import a private key. Boom. Dropping it in there. Boom. 100 ETH. Rich AF. Yeah. In imaginary money. So yeah, and then so now we actually kind of like, just because of like a MetaMask bug, like we have to kind of like restart our browser right now, because like it's not gonna work like out of the box like that. So when we start up our simple client again, this time we're gonna have our private key with lots of ETH in it, and so we should be able to we should be able to connect our wallet, hopefully, and communicate and store a value and then retrieve it, hopefully, and not blowing up on camera. That would be cool. Let's say, well, obviously my lucky number 210. There we go. For area code. Oh, cool! Yay! Awesome. All right. Oh, hey, add address here. Okay, I didn't save a file again. Cool. This is well, no, it's comical for my end, because yeah. Let's just not take our chances on it. Yeah. Cool. All right, MetaMask, you need to ask for a connection. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. Okay, cool. We'll try that again, because it's supposed to ask to connect. Here we go. Okay, so we got the connection request. Now I'll ask you for a password. And if I cross my fingers, we'll be talking to the contract by sending an update. Cool. Hey, it updated. Well, the real test is, did it actually update, right? So now that we sent that to the contract, it's stored it in there, and now we're going to check it. 0. Awesome. Okay, that's not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to have stored it. Sometimes this happens. There's a million things that we could do to troubleshoot it, but I have used this, and the instructions are good. So I would say use it and do it on your own. It should work correctly. But let's give it one more shot. I bet you it really wants to work. Okay, so checking number 0, 210, update, confirm, it updated. So it said, no. Okay, well, it's not working, but it works. I've done it. I promise. But anyway, so basically what we're doing now is we have the front end, it's storing it into the contract, and then you're able to retrieve it. Yeah, sorry, the demo doesn't work perfectly, but yeah, we did my best. And if you have questions about it, I would totally, willing to help any teams that need some sort of guidance on how to do any of this stuff. Yeah, so thanks, and that's kind of like concludes the presentation.